Hey everyone, it's me again. Today I got you a nice synergy to prove that you don't need any fancy weapons like Incarnons. So without further ado, let's head to what we got today. In my hands I have the T-Net Cyclone. It's a T-Net weapon. You can get it by killing your Sisters of Parvos. This weapon has a base crit chance of 20%, critical multiplier of 1.8, and juicy static chance of 40%. And the weapon is base heat, and with the magnetic progenitor that I have, I get extra element. So what we have here, I took this weapon to level cap using the hate inherit mechanic, and with Ash, I roar, and you get the point. But before we go anywhere further, let's explain how this mechanic works. First, we need to know that the hate status effect is a linear scaling DOT that ramps up in damage really quickly, and it's set as a whole tick and not separated by individual ticks like slash. All the stacks will deal damage as long you keep applying them. Once you stop applying stacks, the remaining stacks will apply damage till 6 seconds. So how does the heat inherit mechanic work? Well, it's calculated at the first stack of heat proc. It will take the current heat percentage, modded base damage, and faction damage mod on the weapon that applied the first stack. Then you will follow up with your main DPS weapon with higher base damage and another faction damage multiplier, and the new stacks will inherit the stats of the first stack. To summarize what I have just said, build a primer with high heat percentage, faction damage mod, and some other status effects like viral, etc. Then pew pew, get yourself a DPS weapon with heat damage and faction damage mod and higher base damage. Another pew pew. Once you do this, your first pew pew will buff your second pew pew, resulting in a bigger pew pew. Once you armor strip, the enemy will go poof. I hope this made sense. If you have any other questions, you can leave a comment. I read them all. Alright, let's see how our loadout should be looking like. In terms of Archon Shards, I have none, and my Helmenth ability will be Roar to multiply my damage and add to my faction damage multipliers. Okay, let's take this build into Steel Path and see how it performs in Disruption. Now let's build some stacks. Pew pew pew. Alright, with the first key. Now the first demo, prime with your Bubonico, armor strip, boom. Right, the next one. Pew. Alright, where's the demo? There he is, prime, apply damage, armor strip, boom. Alright, next, prime, armor strip, boom. And let's see how you kill an acolyte. Alright, this is Malice, and boom. Okay, let's start with the Ash build. In the aura, I got brief respite for energy shield conversion. Yeah, I know I don't have catalyzing shields to reduce my shields, but it will help. Prime sure footed for the less summon you but narrow-minded paired with ogre message to increase my ability duration up to 214%. Blind rage paired with umbrella intensified to increase my total ability strength up to 243%. Arcane energize and equilibrium for energy sustainment. Arcane eruption for extra layer of CC. Whenever I pick an energy orb, I knock back enemies. And rolling guard for the 3 seconds of vulnerability and stealth cleanse. Yeah, I know I'm invisible, but it helps. Prime flow for the large energy pool, and the augment seeking shuriken to armor strip the enemies whenever I need to. What you can do here is removing the seeking shuriken augment and add smoke shadow to increase my critical chance on my weapons, and substituting the armor strip with 2 green shards since my primer will be modded for corrosive and heat. We'll get to that. My primer will be the Bubonico. Yeah, it can work as a primer with its old fire. I have primer exhilarate to give me a little bit of energy regeneration, and prime cleanse of Grenier, and 3 heat mods to play the important role in heat inherit mechanic, and the other mods is the corrosive, multi-shot, and static chat. With this, I'll be proccing heat, viral, corrosive, and impact. These are 4 status effects for my gun CO on my Cyclone. Alright, now with my T-Net Cyclone, as I said, it's my magnetic progenitor, so let's take a look at the build. As you see here, my main base damage arcane is Cascadia Flares to give me 480% base damage, crit chance, crit damage, multi-shot, gun CO, and some status chance, viral damage since I'm armor stripping the enemy, prime heated charge to increase my heat, and prime expel Grenier to multiply my damage. My melee weapon doesn't really matter, but I had the glaive to just kill enemies. If you don't want to use it, use the Quasas. I don't know, Homa with the heavy attack setup. I just had this one set to the loadout. My focus skill will be Vazarin, just for protective sling, to help me, to give me extra layer of survivability. My companion will be the Worm, and the build will be as shown: Guardian to replenish my shields whenever they break, Negate to protect me from a status effect every 5 seconds, Tenacious Bond to multiply my total crit damage, and Reinforced Bond to give me extra fire rate, since I don't have a lot of fire rate on this build. And the rest is, as you see, Manifold Bonds, Synth Fiber, Assault Mode, and a shield mod to satisfy Reinforced Bonds condition, and Vacuum and Prime Region. Make sure that you have a Volt Clock with Point Strike to satisfy Tenacious Bonds condition to get the 1.2% critical damage multiplier on your total crit damage. That's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Please consider subscribing, it's free, you can always change your mind. Also, dropping a like, it's very appreciated. Stay tuned and see you all next time in the next video. Bye bye!